Can you name a blockbuster film that does not have a mom dying in it?
Passion of the Christ. Is that where the theme song goes right there?
This theme song goes. Yeah. So I'm Lindsey.
I'm Nathaniel.
We've always had a lot of opinions about films, and that's why we decided to make a podcast. Also, we've noticed that on a lot of movies, the moms are dead. And that's something we have in common.
So we made a club.
And it's called the Dead Mom Movie Club. This is it. Welcome to the Dead Mom Movie Club.
Yancey? Dog, really? Pacific Rim is what we're discussing from 2013. PG-13. That was a big surprise. The synopsis is, as a war between humankind and monstrous sea creatures wages on, a former pilot and trainee are prepared to drive a seemingly obsolete special weapon in a desperate effort to save the world from apocalypse.
Is there a dead mom in this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There is.
There is.
I mean, Dad was dead too, but nobody cares.
Also, Yancey dies.
Why would you name somebody?
Who chose
this
Yancey?
19th century, like,
Old
fancy
name.
boy name?
So this film's directed by Guillermo Del Toro. I only recently got into Guillermo Del Toro, I'll be honest. Just like in the past, 10 years.
You
Just
said
recently. Just recently, within the past 10 years. I was like, this is probably 5 to 6 years ago, so I guess. And this was one of the only films I hadn't watched of his.
Wow.
And I hadn't seen Pacific Rim.
You're welcome.
I watched it. Nathaniel said, you gotta watch Pacific Rim. I actually Googled, why did Guillermo make this movie? Why? And all I could come up with was why he wouldn't do Pacific Rim 2. It turns out the reason he couldn't do the second one was because he told them to reserve the studios in Canada, I think. It was you got to reserve these studios by 5 p.m. or they're going to be gone. And Guillermo was like, hey, do that. They didn't do it, and they lost the studios for months. So he was like, all right, I guess I can't do this movie. And they were like, have you watched it? And he said, no. It's kind of like this quote, I'm going to butcher it. Watching a sequel that you didn't direct, like meeting your ex-wife's new husband or something like that. You're not going to like him. Yeah. And if you do like him, then that feels worse. It's kind of like you did bad.
Can I just tell you real quick? This is a 6.9 on IMDb.
People really like this. So when this movie first came out in 2013, because I remember when it came out, I was working at a theater, and one of my interns, he was like, are you going to Pacific Rim? And I was like, why would I go to that? If he would have said, oh, it's directed by Guillermo Del Toro, I would have been like, oh.
An artiste.
Yeah. Although that was the 12-year mark, so maybe I wasn't into him yet. I remember saying to him, isn't that a terrible movie? And he was like, no, it's so amazing. I'm going to go see it 2 times. He was really into it.
He hadn't seen it once.
Yeah, it was I'm going to see it.
For sure, I've laid it out. I've got 2 dates. We're going.
I went and looked at some of the reviews, and some of the reviews I read were 4 out of 4 stars.
From back then or now?
From back then. So let's talk about it. What happens in the film? What happens in Pacific Rim? First off, we have 2 cold opens.
Yes.
Which I was not a fan of.
One's not enough. It's like a Looney Tunes version of a noir voiceover or something.
A lot of people feel really strongly about having voiceover at the beginning of films.
That's true. In every single book that you read about screenwriting.
Yeah. And they all say,
don't do it.
Don't do it. Also, text at the beginning of a film.
Don't do it.
Don't do it.
First thing you see, words. Why I didn't show up to a book club. I just paid $20 for this. You're gonna make me do work? See an art film. Okay, Guillermo.
Okay. I'm pretty sure robots fighting dinosaurs is not gonna be an art film. The kaiju appear in the breach.
Yep.
Which is a trench in the ocean. They pop up and start destroying cities.
Yeah. And when that first happens, I was just like, why? Why are you so mad? I thought they just were never going to tell us because it was so long in between when these things started going buck wild. And then when they did explain it, I was just like, these guys, maybe you are making too much noise or something.
The kaiju appear. We get this voiceover telling us all about them attacking the cities. And then it goes through this timeline of them attacking the cities. Then everybody being like, no, we took care of them. They're gone. They're never coming back. And then capitalism takes over. We start getting kaiju sneakers, kaiju TV shows,
tattoos, t-shirts, all that stuff.
Yeah, we can barely talk about Pearl Harbor. Could you imagine a giant thing destroys all of Japan, all of these places? People are dead.
The only analogy I could come up with is if you remember those little animals that would be standing and you push a button and they just collapse.
Oh yeah,
you know those little toys. If you made those for the Twin Towers, but immediately after the Twin Towers. There's just like a plane on a spring, and then you push the button and the top.
If everything falls.
I kind of want to make those.
Don't do it. Don't. I'm going to say don't do it. Not even as long as 9/11. That's been 20-something years.
Yeah.
And these people are already got sneakers and, different minor league baseball teams that are named after kaiju.
Which, if you're a kaiju fighter, Jaeger, it can be upsetting.
Yeah.
It can really be upsetting.
It could be upsetting. This is the trauma of war. And we've made it into a game show. We find out, the kaiju aren't done. Still in the cold open. We're still in the cold open.
Really?
Yeah. Now it's like 2020. Okay?
Wait, we still haven't gotten the title screen?
No.
Dude, that's too much.
That's what I'm saying. There were two essentially cold opens. The title screen doesn't happen until Yancey's death.
Oh, right. And you're like, no, dude, this movie's going now, man. Like, you can't, you waited too long.
Just an intermission.
Yeah. I didn't know this was a short film. This is amazing.
I loved it.
We start to leave the theater or whatever. That's pretty good.
Wow. So I still got popcorn.
I would also see that twice.
So then we have Raleigh and Yancey introduced. The two brothers, which I couldn't understand if they were really brothers or if they were calling each other brothers because they.
Brother.
Yeah, it was like,
Yeah,
brother.
Hey, kid. This movie is, I was going to say it's the end, but I can't contain it. It's a collection of cliches strung together and then eventually a title screen. So far, that's what's happened.
That's what's happened. There's a Han Solo quote in there.
What's the quote? Don't be cocky, kid.
Yeah.
That's a Han Solo quote?
Yeah.
I hate this movie now.
Oh, no. You were supposed to be the one that liked it. We find out that the Jaegers are these giant, well, I think we found out probably in the voiceover what these Jaegers were, these giant machines that need two people to run them because if one person runs them, their brain explodes. We have these Jaegers, Yancey and Raleigh, the two brothers. They understand each other. Raleigh is excited to go and fight some kaiju.
And the rippest man alive.
Oh, very ripped.
Cartoonishly.
So ripped. When he jumps out of bed in the very first shot, I was like, oh, there's the eye candy. And then I just followed the eye candy around.
Yeah. I was like, thanks for telling me who's important.
Yeah, this guy doesn't have a shirt on. He's important.
Wow. Oh, that's why he talks like that in the voiceover.
He and his brother get up and they're going to go fight this kaiju in Alaska. There's also a boat that's like going through Alaska, a fishing boat. A Jaeger picks up the boat, takes it, and puts it in the water. And I just was thinking, like, that seems like you probably already killed all those people.
Those guys are, I mean, if for nothing else, I would have shit myself to death at that. Like if I was in the boat, well, you see Godzilla or whatever, and then you see a big robot guy, and you're like, man, we weren't ever supposed to see any of this.
No, no, this is we were just supposed to be doing some fishing up here.
I just met humans. The 400,000 years that we've been around or whatever. They weren't.
No, if you were to get down to the
you weren't
evolution,
supposed to ever eat a Big Mac. You weren't supposed to see that shit.
No, moving pictures in general, I think, are against
God.
They fight this kaiju. But the kaiju he's evolved, he's stronger, he's bigger, he's better.
Yeah.
And his brother Yancey gets ripped out and killed. Oh, we forgot the most important part, the drift. So when they go into the Jaeger, the Jaeger.
Yeah.
The Jaeger.
Jaeger. Jaegermeister.
The Jaegers. When they're in the Jaegers, they have to like lock in and then meditate essentially, which I thought that was actually kind of interesting.
No matter what happened in the movie that was cool, they would find a way to name it something fucking stupid.
Yeah, the drift is a really weird name.
The drift is weird. Neural handshake, pretty dumb.
Yeah, neural handshake is great.
Pretty fucking dumb. Neural load. I'm just like, brother.
They have to like get into the drift before they start using the Jaeger. And the problem here is if like a traumatizing memory comes up and they're in it, they could completely lose themselves in the memory.
Yeah, in the drift, those memories are more accessible. They call it following the rabbit, which,
oh yeah,
oh my God.
Following the rabbit.
So, it's always a danger that you're going to be looking for something like, I don't know, a dead mom.
Dead moms.
Like, something like that.
Yeah. Yancey and Raleigh hooked up. Their brains are connected. So when Yancey gets taken away, and I thought this was so interesting, and then I was like, we're never going to talk about this, I guess. But when Yancey gets taken from the kaiju by the kaiju, and he's like eaten up. He's eaten all the way up. Rally feels all of that and knows all of that and like knows what his death is. And I was like, that's interesting.
That is very cool.
That's very cool and interesting. And I would thought that we were gonna like explore some of that trauma, which
it would have been neat to hear him say like, I died, or really just is like, that sucked. What sucked, man?
What sucked? Like, tell us what death was like.
Yeah.
We all want to know. It's why we're all here. That's why we go to the movies. We want it explained to us.
That is pretty accurate.
It's not wrong.
It's not wrong at
It's
all.
not
dude.
wrong.
That's exactly why we go.
So now we're done with the cold open. Yancey's died. We're 5 years later, which bum 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 is 2025. They don't say it, but it is.
Oh shit! Really?
Happy anniversary, Pacific Rim.
Or I thought we were 9/11 again. Oh, my bad. No.
No, happy.
I'm just never not forgetting.
Yeah, that's good for you. I'm glad that you always remember. They're building this wall. They have this explanation of like 3 men died yesterday.
What, the good news or the bad news? Somebody goes, bad news, and he's like, 3 men died on the top of the wall yesterday. And then somebody from the back goes, okay, how about the good news? And he goes, I got 3 positions open for the top of the wall.
But then there's also this like introduction to there's not enough money. The reason I say this is because Rally, who could operate an intense, intelligent machine,
yeah.
Also, we find out speaks Japanese, so he's bilingual, can't get a job anywhere, and has to wait for other people to die on the wall before he can get a job.
Okay, pretend it was jet fighting, right? So something you can actually imagine. You were a jet fighter, the fastest, best jets in the world, and then your partner, Goose, got killed, and you're like, I'm just gonna go work manual labor. And then some guy's like, hey man, we'd really rather you did that again, and with all the money and prestige and fame and all this stuff that comes with it, we'd like to have you back. And the idea that you would just be like, nah, I'm gonna sit here in this filth.
I'm gonna see if another guy dies tomorrow on the wall.
Hopefully I can get my rations tomorrow.
Yeah. We've already been introduced to Marshall Stacker Pentecost, which is Idris Elba's character.
Yes.
He goes into the wall. He's like, come on, buddy, we're gonna go fight some guys. And he's like, I don't wanna. And he's like, but the other guys are dead, so you gotta. So he's like, all right, let's go. So they get on a helicopter and they go all the way to the Pacific Rim, I guess. I think that's where they end up. They're in what I call the Resistance Garage. I don't know if that's what it's called, but that's what I've called it.
These movies always have a Resistance Garage.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you watch in Andor? It's like the whole thing's a Resistance Garage.
We know that he needs a co-pilot. And he's like, there's no way I could match with somebody again.
It would be too painful.
Couldn't do it again, but he still is like there. So immediately I go, whoever he's matched with, they're not going to get along.
Oh, no. Of course not.
So then we meet the Australian characters. The dad and son. Wow, that dad looks great.
Yeah.
He was probably like 48, 49.
Yeah, and the son was maybe 38. Doing it young in Australia, my guy.
Yeah, wow.
Started early.
Congrats. But you know what? You set a goal. I want to be a Jaeger bomber. And he's like, I'm 10. Bring my son along.
How, like if you don't want your dad going in your room, but come in my brain.
Yeah.
Right? Like it's weird, man.
It's weird.
Then when they're in the mess hall, everybody has a tray of food. The older dad, Australian, is welcoming Raleigh, and he gives him a tray of food. And Raleigh's like, I couldn't possibly. And he's like, just eat food, man. Come on. There's food on the tray already. They got it filled at the line, I'm assuming. And then they sit down, and then somebody says, pass me the mashed potatoes. And my suspension of disbelief was crushed because what are you talking about? You already got the food, man. You don't go through the line. You're at a potluck. You don't go through the line and then at the table there's fucking potatoes.
There's mashed potatoes.
If I knew Guillermo Del Toro in real life, I would have texted him and been like, bro, what?
He's like, there are 13 scenes I had to cut that explain that. And then we finally meet the female character in the film.
One of 2.
Mm-hmm. The one who speaks.
The one who gets it. The other one gets lines in Russian.
Yes. She
says help.
The Russian group, the Chinese duo. Trio. And then we have the Australians, and then we have poor old Rally. No partner in sight.
None to be found.
And then we meet Mako.
She's really good at the training simulator, man.
She's good. She's had 51 kills.
51 drops, 51 kills.
51 drops, 51 kills.
He's never even heard of that before.
No, it's never even heard of it. That's insane.
you're going to try out, right? And she's like,
No. How many drops do you think you could do?
me?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if it's a simulator, infinite. I don't know. Like,
Wow. Mako is like, no, I can't fight. She's like, I have a whole portfolio of people for you to look at to be your co-pilot. So then he starts fighting them. Then she starts yelling out numbers, and I guess the numbers mean something.
It took a long time for me to catch up. I was like, you're just saying stuff, and then these guys walk away. Oh, but he said like, you picked these guys. Why do you think they suck so bad? And she's like,
it's not them, it's you.
You could have won 2 moves earlier each time easily.
And he's like, I want to fight you.
Right. And since this is a PG-13 movie, this is as close to sex as these guys get.
Mm-hmm.
But it
Appreciate
very
it.
much feels like, yeah, thank you.
Thank you. I couldn't handle it. So then they fight. She wins.
Yep.
So he's like, I want you to be my partner. And then Pentecost is like, absolutely not. We find out the real reason is because her entire family was killed in Japan.
Yeah, from a kaiju. This weird, old, strange man rescued her and then for some reason kept her, even though he himself is single, and raising a kid on your own is probably pretty hard.
You know what? I feel like we should have a Pacific Rim prequel.
Oh,
and it's
yeah.
just like 2 dads and a baby.
2 yeggs and a baby.
And they're like, I don't know how to say it.
They have to drift.
I'm changing a baby.
We gotta get in the drift, or we're never gonna be able to take care of it.
She's like, I'm 7, stop.
Yeah.
But she's like, you gotta let me or something. And he's like, no. But then we find out he does say yes.
Of course.
So she gets into the Jaeger with Raleigh. God, I don't know why his name.
Because it's
dumb. I can't remember this dude's
You look
name.
at that guy and you're like, what is the last thing in the world I would call you? Yancey? All right, second to last.
Something
Second to last.
underneath that. So Raleigh and her get into this Jaeger.
A lot of importance given to being drift compatible. Because she beat him at the stick fighting, they are drift compatible.
She gets into the drift, immediately fucks up. She had this terrible trauma happen. And I was like, surely they don't have the actual nuclear weapons on. No, they do.
First, this is our test flight of arm it fully.
It's the first time these two are together. No time like the present.
10 out of 10, let's go.
You know, if they're going to do it, it's going to be great. If they mess up, well, we're all dead.
Yeah.
They like into the drift. She starts remembering the kaiju and she's like stuck.
Chasing the rabbit.
Yeah. And Raleigh's there. He's like in her memories trying to get her out of it. She's not getting out of it. I don't know when Charlie Day's character gets introduced. When they're walking through the Resistance garage, Charlie Day's character gets introduced.
Yeah.
He's a scientist.
Scientist is also pretty loose. This is a loose science guy. The other guy's a real scientist. Charlie Day, he's like that kid in the neighborhood who was like found a dead thing and was like, if you do this, its arm will move. You know what I mean? Like,
the other guy, Mr. Gottlieb, who I called British male Clea Duvall.
I don't know who Clea Duvall is.
You don't know who Clea Duvall is?
Me, just looked like, oh, we needed one Nazi in this movie. His haircut, I was like, my guy.
This is what's like the Guillermo Del Toro like touches that are in this. And that is one of them. Mako, when she's young and she's like got the bob, like he loves the little girl with the bob in a movie. There's those little touches. We see Charlie Day's lab. There's like the weird big vats of kaiju.
Oh yeah, kaiju guts.
Those little things, and everything's kind of like in a yellow light, which I thought, I was like, okay, this is like the Guillermo-ness of it. We have Charlie Day and he's like, I think that I can drift with a kaiju brain. While they're all this stuff is going on with Mako and following the White Rabbit, we also have Charlie Day kaiju drifting. And he's like, what we find out is like they're coming. All these kaiju are coming. Mr. Gottlieb comes in after they pulled the plug. The one plug that connects this Jaeger is like nuclear weapon.
Yoink.
Yoink! Pulled the plug, which I actually kind of enjoyed. That it was like this one plug.
Yeah.
I liked it.
These are the funnest moments of the movie.
Charlie Day goes and he drifts with the kaiju. He comes up and he's like, I need a kaiju brain. I gotta get a kaiju brain. Pentecost is like, here's the credit card and you're gonna go to the bone slums, which I said that's what they called me in high school.
Bone slums over
slums,
here.
the old
Where all the
bone slums.
bones go to die. This is the funniest part for the whole movie for me, because the bone slums are in China, right? We're in China.
Hong Kong.
Hong Kong.
Yeah.
Said.
Well, let's not get into that.
This is not a political podcast. When he goes into an area where the native speakers speak Chinese, the 2 street signs that they had were written, it was written in Chinese really small underneath a big English version of the word. It was like bone slum and then like the Chinese character.
So he goes to the bone slums. He talks to Ron Perlman. Great cameo. There he is. He's Hellboy himself.
It is with Charlie and that guy when the movie is not hiding from his comic bookness, right? It's just like, this is silly.
Yeah, this is just really silly.
It's really fun.
And he's like, I want to give me a brain. And he's like, no, I'm not going to give you a brain. Are you an idiot? You're drifting with a, oh no. All of a sudden, kaiju everywhere.
Boom.
Kaiju are everywhere, and they've connected with Charlie, and they're trying to find his ass.
Because we were in you were in us. Like, what's up?
You must be like a little kaiju or something.
You're a tiny kaiju.
A little kaiju guy.
You're a kaiju groupie?
Yep.
Come on backstage.
Wow. Oh.
A zing.
We get a little kaiju Liv Tyler out of that. So we have the kaiju, and they are coming to Hong Kong, and so they send out some troops. We send out the Russians. We send out the Chinese, and we send out the Australians, and they go and they fight these kaiju.
But the Americans.
Everybody but the American and Japanese. They get into their Jaegers. They go fight. They get destroyed. Russians immediately taken out. Chinese fight.
They also get taken out pretty quick. As a person who loves a good fight scene, I thought they were super fun, and they were rendered beautifully.
So they're fighting, and then it's like, we can't handle these guys. They do this like electric pulse thing.
Like an EMP.
Yeah, and all the Jaegers then die because they're all these electric.
Before Charlie Day's Dr. Jizz had done his mind meld, one of my big notes is like, they're adapting, they're evolving. Fucking how? They come in here and die. They don't like send texts back like, oh, you know what they're doing now is having guns or whatever. Like,
yeah, it's not like they're
ridiculous.
They're flying back in.
So, but now Charlie did the old like that.
Yeah, and
so
now we know.
This guy comes out and he's like, I know exactly how these things work. Go goosh, and he zaps him.
The only thing we can do, we don't have electric power anymore.
Yep.
We got to get the nuclear powered.
Right.
So yeah, we have Gypsy Danger. Spelled with an I.
Gypsy Danger. Did they let an 8-year-old name that?
So Mako and Rowley get in there. They start fighting. And this is the part that you love.
Well, okay, this is my actual favorite part of this. When you're fighting somebody, right, and you're just punching them, there's only so much force that can be exerted. If you pick up a stick, that force is magnified exponentially. That's why in 2001, the beginning of civilization is a monkey picking up a bone and killing another animal easily, instead of like, taking forever to like rip his face off. For some reason, they built giant fucking robots that just punch hard. So they're just punching these kaiju over and over again. And it's, why are you doing? Most of them don't even have swords or anything like that, right?
They got these punch guns.
They got punch. Left arm rocket initiates. Yeah. And you're just like, my guy.
Yeah.
Sometimes they also have like missiles, and they'll just open like, initiate missiles. You're like, just why did you wait? And so the thing that killed me is they're losing this fight, and it's against this kaiju is whipping their ass, and that's kind of fun. And then Raleigh, who was specifically chosen for this mission because of how familiar with this older version
Gypsy Danger.
Gypsy Danger was his Jaeger. He knows it better than anybody. He says to Mako, we're out of options. He says, we're out of options, right? And she goes, no, there's one more thing. And she pushes a button, and then a sword comes out. All I can think is, well, you should have started the sword. If you have a sword, start with the sword.
Start with the sword. Not only a sword, it also is a chainsaw sword.
It's a pretty badass sword.
It's like
I gotta tell you, if I had a sword like that, it'd be hard to forget about it. They kill that.
They kill those guys, but they're like, they're coming out. They're just like piling out, guys. We can't even.
Oh, but the whole plan was the Australians were going to deliver a payload, a nuclear bomb to close the breach, right? And originally, the Russians and the Chinese were going to defend him while they delivered this payload. But then those two kaiju came early, and they had EMP'd, and everybody died.
Yeah, the Australian guys were fine, but the Australian dad
had hurt his arm.
Hurt his arm.
Oof. if you get to make up how this machine works, maybe don't have the guy who's running it or gal feel the pain of the of getting punched.
Is that it? I thought that it was just like because of getting banged around. He got his
Okay, well, let's make it softer in there.
put some padding.
Pads, something.
I mean, yeah. When there's at the end, there's also a major part where they like are walking around.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and it's like, what is this dangerous ass machine that you're in?
Oh, this is the part of the thing that's just chainsaws. You gotta
Just don't walk on the
don't walk
chainsaws.
on the chain. If you're going in the chainsaw, there's also no railing, because why would you? You're a pro. You're a professional. Okay, so now Mako and Raleigh they're back at the base. They're back at Resistance Garage.
Resistance Garage.
Right.
Yes, because the dad's there.
He's hurt.
Yeah,
the
he's hurt.
Australian guy's hurt.
Yeah, and so we're like, okay, well, I guess then the only person here that can do it is Pentecost, who's been, we thought this entire time, taking Tic Tacs in his mouth after he gets a nosebleed.
Thought he was just like, I ain't got time to eat.
Oh, here's a pill that makes me eat.
Don't. I was like, you're doing that. You're on that SS shit. Just fucking methamphetamines, dog.
You gotta stay up. But it turns out the original Jaegers were, well, just nuclear powered.
Or something?
Yeah, I don't know. And so he's got a bunch of radiation.
It's like the last thing we were thinking of was radiation poisoning. I was like, man, I would first on my list.
Yeah, you should have had that number one. You guys are messing around with nuclear stuff. Like, it's there.
He's like, the last thing we were thinking of was not having chainsaws on the floor. Why would you even consider not having them on the floor?
What are we going to put him in the sky? Wait a second. So he's like, I got to do it. And Mako's like, no, if you do it, you're going to die.
At some point in the movie, you learn that when he rescued Mako, he was piloting his Jaeger by himself. And the only other person who had done that was Raleigh, who after his Yancey got snatched, he got the thing to shore.
Once I had to get my Yancey looked at after it got snatched.
You can't wait too long.
You can't.
At the first sign of trouble.
Yeah.
You get that Yancey looked at.
Get the Yancey looked at. So you got to get your Yancey checked out. So Mako is like, no, you can't. But he's like, I gotta deliver the payload. So it's Australian Sun.
Yeah.
And Pentecost.
And you might be thinking, what about drift compatibility? You might have come up for you where you're like, well, how they're gonna have to have fight sex.
No.
Because for some reason,
no time.
It's magical guy is like, I don't take anything into the drift with me.
Well, Mako calls him sensei at one point.
Yeah.
So I guess he's like an enlightened guru when it comes to the drift.
I will accept that.
You'll accept it?
Sure.
Okay. We will plow through.
It's Idris Elba. What am I going to be like? No.
We've got to go deliver this payload, and then all of a sudden, all of these kaiju come out, and it's just fight. It's like fighting.
Oh,
fighting.
so it's like 15 or 20 minutes of fighting.
Fighting.
It's so good.
It's if you like fighting.
If you like that, it's very good.
If you don't, you'll say, this is boring. Which might have been what I said.
Even if you do like it, it's a lot.
It's a lot of fighting.
It's like when you watch a person do a really crazy yo-yo trick, and then they go do another, and you're like, no, I don't see how they're different, actually.
It's like different card tricks or whatever. It's like, like that one or that one. Yeah,
I get it. Yeah. You're good with that stuff.
You did it. You didn't have to show me another one. Go and they're fighting all the kaiju, and it's a long time of fighting. The payload's not going to be able to be delivered by Pentecost and the Australian dude.
This is the triple.
This is a triple kaiju.
This is the trip kaiju.
Where Dr. Giblets is like, Dr. Gottlieb and Grizzler. Jizzler and Gottlieb. And Gottlieb has said, I don't understand. There should be 3 coming through. I know there's 3.
Right.
And then a third one comes through. Jaegers are getting destroyed. There's like water linking in. They're under the ocean now. Pretty deep.
Pretty far.
They're in Trench Town. They're down in Trench Town. These boys swam on down there.
Where none of the streets are labeled.
Nope. There's no Mandarin.
Nothing.
There's nothing.
Good luck.
Just try finding your way out of there. Pentecost is like, I'm going to die. So the only thing we can do is just blow ourselves up to get rid of all of these kaiju.
Two things that I want to point out is one is when they blow up themselves to clear a path for the lady. And then when they do the explosion, I don't think this is what would happen with physics. I could be wrong. But the sea parted.
Yeah.
Like he was fucking
Moses.
And I was just like, is that on purpose? Visually, I was like, well, this is interesting, but nah.
But then all of that pressure of all of the ocean is slamming down now on him.
That's
That's tough.
So they find out, because of Charlie's second drift, the way to get through the breach is to have the DNA with you.
Yep.
Because it scans it like a barcode.
Yep.
It's got to all be capitalism. Man.
Capitalism.
It's got to be put through that.
UPC.
What's that Fisher book? Capitalist realism. It's got to be put through that lens. So
For all the real ones.
I've read a book.
It sounds like you've read two at least, and I'm not so sure you like the first one. Charlie's like, you gotta hop a ride with the which you've already pointed out. Kaiju don't return.
They're not typically.
Mako is starting to lose oxygen, so Rowley
for
shoots,
some reason.
Yeah, I don't
they got
know.
beat up. The whole room should have had oxygen in.
So he says, "I'm gonna go to the second dimension. I'm gonna shoot Mako up through the throat." That's what they called that thing. Gross.
Yeah.
Not a great. Just gross.
I don't like it.
He goes down and he's like, all right, I gotta deliver the payload. And it's, of course, we got an error. We got a mechanism error. He can't do it.
Yeah.
Remote. He's got to go manual.
Yep.
So that's when we have him walking around Chainsaw Island.
He is in Chainsaw Island. It felt like a level of Donkey Kong Bonanza, where he was just like, whoop, 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 whoop. Get the banana.
And he does. He gets the banana, which is the payload.
Yep.
He does this, which is what they always do to manually override something. Pull it out, push it in.
Yeah.
And now it's going to go off, and he shoots himself up.
Mm-hmm.
And
then we watch these just innocent beings.
I wouldn't call them innocent. They declared war on us. This is what they do. They go from universe to universe, suck up all of the resources. I mean, if you want to talk about humanity going, here's a mirror of ourselves.
If this movie is a metaphor for anything, it's landlords.
Yeah.
Not a political podcast.
It's not a political podcast.
I don't want to go further.
We've already talked about socialist books. I think we're there. Shoots up. And he's not breathing because he gave Mako all of his oxygen, but she gets up and she's like, I'm fine.
I guess the bends aren't a problem for these guys.
Immediately what I said. I was like, I guess they don't got the bends? Yeah. Okay.
Yikes.
We're not going to have the bends. Fine. This is a future technology. Fine.
Wait, so the thing you all should know is that Lindsey and I are smarter than this movie.
We like to think we are. But here's the other thing. You and I have both written features before.
And I personally have spent untold hours agonizing over stuff like this.
Yes.
Where you're just like, that doesn't make any fucking sense. Which it kind of... So to see this, you're just like, well, I could have just done whatever I wanted.
Yeah.
I guess it does not matter.
It doesn't matter. I want to go back to that point.
Sorry.
But I do want to finish the film. So we have Mako. She goes over to Rowley's corpse. Yeah, she's like, you're dead. Oh no. And she's holding him. And he's like, oh, you're squeezing me too tight. Turns out he's alive.
He's alive.
My favorite part of the movie is this. They don't kiss. I love that.
I didn't even notice.
Yep.
That's pretty dope.
It's super dope. They're just probably they have maybe a little romantic relationship. He obviously was crushing hard on her.
Yeah, he's like, my timing has always been really bad. Chainsaw.
Would you like to go on a date? Chainsaw.
Chainsaw sword.
Then they send 7,000 helicopters to rescue them. So many helicopters.
Yeah, it only takes 5 to get the Jaeger out there, but the lifeboat, you need I think it was 15.
It's guys, so many of those. What did you think you were going to be rescuing here?
Yeah.
Everything blew up. There's the radio guys are like, guys, but they're just so into each other, but they don't kiss. Yep.
They're just looking at each other.
They're just looking at each other and appreciating each other. And they'll probably get married. It's fine.
Why do you like that they didn't kiss?
Because she was her own character and it didn't end with this romantic relationship.
Oh, she wasn't. By the end, she was not possessed by him.
Yes.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's great. There is, however, something I found researching this called the Mako test. It's similar to the Bechdel test.
Okay.
When the Bechdel test, you have to have two women in a film. They have a conversation. They're not talking about the man in the film.
And they both have to have names.
So the Mako Maori test from this movie is you have to have at least one female character in your film. And she
It has to be named Mako.
has to be named Mako. That's number one. She has to be named Mako. She has to be in the film.
She has to have been in Pacific Rim.
She has to have been at the Pacific Rim.
The Pacific Rim.
Pacific Rims. And she has to have a storyline that is not dependent on the male storyline, like fulfilling the male storyline. Mako, I think, does that. She has her own thing. She has to get through the vengeance that she feels.
Yeah, it's the vengeance and
I think Mako must be like bare minimum action test. You have to pass this test.
Yeah.
You did not pass the Bechdel test. You did pass the Mako test.
No.
Guillermo Del Toro is really good about having strong female leads in his film. I feel like this was an oversight, and not a great one.
Yeah. I mean, he wasn't the only writer of the movie.
No, he co-wrote it.
And there's always a big studio. Does this come from any other like IP or anything?
I don't
just
think
straight
so.
up made this up.
Yeah, I think that it's just made
Dude,
up.
Better, dog. My God damn.
I think because the story was by one guy.
Oh, it was the guy he co-wrote it.
Yeah,
with,
the guy who co-wrote it with. So I imagine.
Wait, were they writing together or no?
I don't know. I didn't research it. But if a story is by somebody else, I imagine he originally had the script.
And then Guillermo.
And Guillermo did whatever he wanted with it.
Flourishes.
Mm-hmm. You know how it is. So watching films now, after having written features, having written a lot of things yourself, sometimes I look at a film and I'm watching it and I'm like, of course, it's like it exists this way. If it doesn't exist this way, then we don't have the story. We don't have the movie.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, of course, these are interdimensional characters that can be blown up and cut through with knives, but also can't be punched to death because that just like exists. That's the way we are, There's like part of me that anymore that really, it doesn't suspend belief, but because it used to be really hard on films. We're down in the ocean. These things haven't, like, are we pressurized? What's going on, right?
My friend would always say, buy the ticket, take the ride, dog. My personal feeling, though, is I will be on that ride. There's only so much, though.
Yes.
Like, the guy who made Long Legs, I think somebody was Q&Aing them, and he's like, somebody was like, why did this happen? And he's like, look, some people want to enjoy the movie, and some people want to beat the movie. So...
Right.
You decide what it is you want to do.
Yeah, that's such a good point.
It's a really good point. This movie in particular, when I went to see it in the theater, I went in knowing this was a movie that could easily be defeated. You just know.
Yeah.
As soon as you hear that voiceover, you're like, okay.
Yeah. This is what this is.
Right. But I wanted to have fun. And so I did when I saw it. Part of the fun for me can being like, well, that's fucking dumb, like picking it apart. But I will say there's just enough Charlie Day and Hellboy, Ron Perlman to make it worth it. Am I gonna watch this movie ever again? No, probably not. If it didn't have a start with a sword, I might never have thought about it again. It's been 12 years. I think about it kind of frequently.
I mean, that's one of those moments though where you're like, okay, when I'm writing something, I have to really be aware that we can't just invent a sword out of nowhere. Because that's what happened, right? That's
it's
like the whole
exactly
God and the machine,
happened.
the Deus Machina thing, where it's
yes.
like, oh, now we have a sword. We've solved this problem that we've created for ourselves by bringing this sword out.
The writer's room is like, guess what? You did. They have a sword. Boom! Lunchtime.
So our rating scale is out of missed birthdays. How many missed birthdays? Because, our moms aren't with us anymore and they miss our birthdays every year.
Not to put too fine a point on it.
We don't have moms. 5 out of 5 missed birthdays is a perfect movie.
Is No Country for Old Men.
5 out of 5 missed birthdays. No Country for Old Men, highly recommended. I'm between 2.5 and 3 out of 5.
I was hovering around 3.35. I like fighting.
Yes.
And so I was kind of like, yeah, get him Herc.
I could have had more Guillermo Del Toro.
GDT, dog.
GDT. More GDT. I could have had more of his touches on stuff.
Yeah.
I could have had a little bit of toned down less of Charlie Day. Just a little bit toned. Just like
10% off the top.
10% off the top of his character. The wackiness. And then the lead character, his acting is rough.
It's not really why he's there,
No, he's there for the looks, for the eye candy. He
had the look.
My final score, 3 out of 5 missed birthdays.
I think I'm going to go ahead and agree with you because I feel like I need some room later in life to give something else 3.5 stars. And if I'm like, wait, was that?
You gave Pacific Rim 3.5 stars?
Is Pacific Rim as good as that? Yeah, because I thought the fighting was fun and the memory stuff was pretty cool.
Yeah.
I think Charlie Day, he almost can do no wrong for 3 missed birthdays.
3 missed birthdays.
It's a lot of missed
birthdays. Wow, so many missed birthdays.
3
3 missed birthdays. So that's both of our score. 3 missed birthdays
missed birthdays.
for Pacific Rim.
That's settled. That's what it is. That's what that movie is.
Yeah. So we have to do our next movie. Is it Pacific Rim 2? No, absolutely not.
No.
So our next film that we're going to review is
One Battle After Another.
Check that out. Get in there with us and tell us what you think in the comments about
Start with a sword.
Start with a Sword. Do you think that the sword could have had more chainsaws?